Hello, welcome to this edition of Inside Football at Social. Well, it's the first edition for the 2022-2023 season. I'm sorry I've been away for a while, but we'll try to keep up as much as we can. There's a derby in the north in England, and in Spain there are loads of fixtures. Well, let's start from there. There's a game between Celta Vigo and Real Madrid. That's definitely an interesting game. There's Athletic Club versus Valencia. There's Atletico Madrid versus Villarreal. But I think the pick of the bunch has to be Real Sociedad versus Barcelona. That is definitely a game to look out for. Remember, Barcelona played a goalless draw in their first leg. They were able to register some players, but will they be able to gel enough to start this game? Will the coach Xavi decide to bring Ansu Fati to the starting lineup? Will it be Lewandowski or Aubameyang on the right? Will it be Dembele, Rafinha, whoever? So that's the edict of the coach Xavi, but that would definitely be an interesting game. Yes, away from home, Barcelona had struggled a bit against Real Sociedad, but in recent years they've been finding ways to win that game. So I think this could be another big test for the Catalonians. I don't think they will pick up 3 points here, but I think they should get to score. Maybe a score draw or a narrow win for Real Sociedad. But for Madrid, I think they'll still continue that dominance against Celta Vigo. For Villarreal, I think that will be an interesting game, but they are going to be at the very top work against Atletico Madrid. I still think the Madrid side will also pick up 3 points in that one. Moving to England, where all the drama is unending. The game between Liverpool and Manchester United at Old Trafford definitely has to be the pick of the bunch in Europe for this weekend. But before that, let's talk about the controversy that happened last weekend in the London derby between Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur. The first goal, I think it was 100% foul on Kai Havertz, but the excuse for that one is, well, Chelsea had enough time to recover. They were over 40 seconds before the goal. That was the first goal for Spurs. But the second goal, there's no way this lifetime that goal should have been allowed to stay, because it was obvious Cucurella's hair was pulled by Christian Romero, and the FA came up after that. Well, hair pulling is not part of the rules. Now the coach or the referee that made that decision, the VAR referee Mike Dean, who was always controversial while he was acting, now as the video assistant referee, he's still controversial. He came out to apologize, said he made a mistake. He could have called the referee. He couldn't call the ref to check a free kick, but should have called to check for a red card or violent conduct. But again, that is done. I just believe there should be retrospective punishment for referees who make obvious errors that could cost a team. I think if that is done, maybe to an extent, all these little bit of controversies will be avoided. But the game is done and dusted. Hopefully, we don't get to suffer that this weekend. The big game between Manchester United and Liverpool at Old Trafford, that's a game to look out for. That's the biggest game across Europe for this weekend. And the last 7 games between these two giants of English football, United have scored only twice. They've scored 3 goals, but they've scored only 2 games in 7. I mean, in the Premier League, of course, United defeated them in the FA Cup 3-2, and also the last pre-season friendly, United won 4-0. But in the Premier League, and their last 7 games, United have scored only 3 goals, and the 3 goals came in just 2 games. Liverpool have been very dominating. Last week they scored 4, they scored 5, home and away. And Liverpool will be coming into this game without Darwin Núñez got a red card in the last game. They won't be without Firmino due to injury. They won't be without Diogo Jota as well. So it means all their outright number 9 will not be able to play this game. But it's still Liverpool. They could decide to go with Luis Diaz as a false 9. They could decide to go with even Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian king, up front. So it's definitely not going to be an easy ride for the Manchester United, who look to be unsettled sort of. You should expect Cristiano Ronaldo to start this one again, but it feels like the team are not playing together yet. Still struggling in the transfer window, trying to get a midfielder, majorly a defensive midfielder. They still feel like a scattered unit. And defensively, the major problem with United is not that their defenders are that bad. They are just not defending as a unit, and that's one of the things that's costing the Red Devils their first 2 losses of the season. I think they need to gather themselves well. They need to play well. If it means pushing Lisandro Martinez to the defensive midfield role, because even his height to an extent is affected, but if they need to push it to the defensive midfield role to maybe shut off the defense. Mark Fred are not doing too well. They've not covered themselves in glory. This will be tough. This will be hard. I don't think United are getting their first win this weekend. Liverpool themselves have struggled a bit in their first 2 games, especially the one against Crystal Palace. But I still think they will be strong enough to play away at Old Trafford. Will they win that game? Maybe, maybe not, but I don't see them losing. So if I'm to award a victory to anyone, I think I'll give it to Jurgen Klopp's men. Erik ten Hag needs to find a solution to that team. He needs to tweak his team. He needs to make the Red Devils unpredictable. Else, this could also be a whitewash for Liverpool at Old Trafford. So for the games this weekend, obviously in Spain, I think Real Madrid will win. I think Barcelona will maybe play a draw or even lose the game against Real Sociedad. But for the biggest game in Europe, even in world football this weekend, Man United and Liverpool, I think Jurgen Klopp's men will not lose. Either a win or a draw. So that's our show for today. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Till we come here another time. Have a beautiful, sporty weekend. Goodbye.